Thanks for joining me on your Sunday night. I've got a couple stories to update you on as our team has been working on gathering a couple items, but we are going to begin with a breaking news update. Now, we told you yesterday that there was a shooting in Claiborne County. Well, now the suspect arrested has been identified by police. Now, this is what we know so far. The shooting happened at Club Old School on Highway 18 Friday night. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Office identifies the suspect as Kenneth Townsend. Townsend. Townsend shot Nicholas Sanders of Vicksburg 3 times. This after an argument between the two men escalated. Officials say a firearm was later recovered by deputies during the investigation. Townsend currently faces charges in connection to the shooting. This is an active and ongoing investigation. Excuse me, a little frog in my throat today. But yes, we are trying to find more information about this, but he has been identified and arrested. But this is an active investigation. Now, back here, a little closer to home, Ridgeland firefighters responded to an apartment fire earlier this afternoon. This is video from that scene. It happened at the Sunchase Apartments on Williams Boulevard this afternoon. According to the fire chief, Jonathan Posey, the fire began on the second floor apartment of Building 20. That's towards the back of the apartment complex. Both Ridgeland Fire and police responded to the scene. Now, residents tell us that smoke was rising from the top of the building just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Crews were able to put out most of the flames by around 3 this afternoon. And Chief Posey tells 3 on Your Side that the building does not appear to be a total loss at this time. But, of course, it'll take more time to make sure that they gather all the evidence and to just make sure that they can go through and see any damages that there were that they couldn't see just while the smoke was still rising. No injuries to report, luckily, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation at this time. And Anae's back with a look back, just joining us for a look at our forecast. Excuse me, I'm a little all over the place.
I was here at 8 a.m., so I am back.
She's back. I haven't been here, so she's back with a look at our forecast. It looks like fall. Doesn't feel like fall.
Right. The colors are out there. We have the changes for the leaves certainly falling from those trees and everything like that. But right now, our temperature is still sitting at 66 in Vicksburg, 65 in Macomb. This is where we usually would see our high temperatures heading into mid-November. So certainly has been a warm day. And tomorrow it's going to be exactly the same. Even just waking up, way early in your Monday morning, you can expect temperatures to be nearly 60 degrees. We'll be in those upper 50s, very similar to today. If you are out early on your Sunday, you know exactly how it's going to feel tomorrow and pretty much what it's going to look like. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover, but otherwise we're staying dry. 80 is going to be your high temperature, not only for your Monday, but pretty much for every day in the upcoming work week. Even heading into your Friday, as we start to see an increase in our rain chances, we're still going to see temperatures reaching about 80 degrees for most of the area. Wow. Although we're going to see some scattered showers afterwards. And that's why heading into the weekend, we'll be a little bit closer to normal for this time of year, but still a little bit above average, 72, 71 heading into your Saturday and Sunday. But I mentioned we'll see rain chances too. This is how that kind of times out. See a little bit of cloud cover increasing into the week, but stray showers, pretty much the only thing you should expect for the start. Vast majority of us going to be dry. It's really Thursday night into early Friday morning.
Right.
We start to see the disturbance moving into the area, bringing multiple rounds of showers and storms possible. It's looking like Friday won't really be a complete washout, so that's why it's still going to be rather warm. Now, more rainfall does move in for the weekend, your Saturday and your Sunday. And we could see potentially what we call training. So that's basically when multiple rounds of showers form over the same area.
Okay.
And that's what could provide a risk for flash flooding. It's
Mm.
more likely towards west of I-55, kind of closer towards the Mississippi River.
Okay.
For now, that's what projections are showing.
That typically is our flash flooding zone anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not
Mhm.
surprising,
Yeah.
but it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's where it's looking like we just usually when the systems are coming in from the west, they're just
Right.
dumping more rain on
Right.
our westernmost counties. So that's what it's looking like could happen for us heading into the weekend. Models still all over the place with the totals. GFS saying you guys aren't going to get any rain. The Euro is saying you guys are going to flood. We're still going to be
Wow,
kind
that's
of
a big difference.
that is a
I'm
huge
really it's
difference.
clicking to me now. I'm like, that's
It's very bad.
no
It's-
rain to full rain.
Yes, very, very messy. So certainly nothing is completely nailed down. And that is also the case for our risk for severe storms, although thankfully it's becoming less and less likely. Many of the model runs that we've been seeing today, when you come up with multiple rounds of showers and storms, then they use up the energy instead of just having a lot of instability to have those really strong storms.
I got you.
So the storm fuel, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. We're not really seeing too many of those bright yellows in our area, but that does indicate some parts of the weekend we could see a little bit of highlights. I'm going to kind of scroll backwards, looking into, for now it seems, your Saturday and your
Kinda
Sunday,
lower and then it picks up.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a potential to see some hefty storms for your Friday night. So can't rule out isolated severe storms for some parts of the weekend, but we're not looking at an outbreak or anything like that. So it's not, nothing to be scared about. Just keep in mind, if you have outdoor plans, I know we talked about sports earlier.
Right.
We were talking about Saturday, the
Talking about
game.
the Soul Bowl.
Yeah, and just it looks like for now
Woo.
we could have some pretty stormy weather in the area heading into parts of your Saturday.
But again, you were saying that the what are they called? The models?
Yeah.
The models are not agreeing.
Yes.
And so
there's still a lot of uncertainty.
maybe.
So, thoughts and prayers for the weekend. Maybe things will clear out. But the good news about this is that that's what's going to bring us the cooler weather. If you wanted to actually feel like fall for Thanksgiving, our temperatures are going to be closer to the low 70s to upper 60s heading into your next week. So that is one benefit from seeing those showers. They're going to come along with kind of a low pressure system followed by a cold front. And then it'll feel a little bit more like, the holidays.
So we've got to be thankful that there's rain. It might make the Soul Bowl for those of you coming to the vet next weekend. That's going to be a little interesting, a little muddy.
Yeah.
Maybe grab the rain jacket.
Yeah. I would go ahead and plan in advance your ponchos and everything like that. If you have your state gear, your college poncho.
Your college poncho.
Yeah.
I have a ginormous rain jacket, and it looks like it's for a typhoon.
Yeah.
Like it's tsunami. It goes down to my knee.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. And I was like, that's what I was thinking of. But
yeah.
you're
not
like,
bad.
you maybe just prepare for it.
Yeah. Get some in the school colors. You want to get that navy blue.
Going over to the pro shop.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is it pro shop? That's not right. That's a golf term. Oh well. Go on over to the fan store.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Sure.
I'm all over the place on this Sunday night, but you know what's not all over the place? Jackson State, because yesterday they actually took on the Bethune-Cookman, and one of my producers said it very, very nicely. Bethune-Cookman got cooked by Jackson State, and I know Nate's looking at me like that was a horrible joke, and I fully appreciate that, and I understand that, but you know what? That's why he gets paid money to do sports, because he comes up with the better sayings than I do.
I wish that was me, honestly. No, that was a great one. But yes, the Jackson State Tigers, unbelievable game when you looked at, coming into it. How was Jackson State going to respond in such a massive game when you talk about the SWAC East Division standings? And it wasn't a perfect game. Let's just be honest. It wasn't some game that you walk away and say, oh, my goodness, they're the best team in the SWAC, even though they technically are. But they did specific things in this game that make you very confident for the rest of the season. We got to talk about these trio of running backs: Ahmad Miller, Travis Terrell Jr., and Denario Davenport. Unbelievable performances from those guys. All three of them had over 100 rushing yards in this game.
Wow.
We've talked about it all year. If you watch Beyond the End Zone, is there a lethal rushing attack that has led the way for this team? It's been just – every week we're seeing 200-plus yard rushing games, and this week they go over 300. But also in this game, late when you needed to play, the defense had played great all day, and they made a big one. B.J. Washington getting a massive pick six to really put this thing away. Jackson State fans, you got to be really excited as we get into the end of the season, right? Because you're number one in this SWAC East division, right? All right, so that's massive, of course. And you're tied technically with Alabama State, right? With a 6-1 conference record, but you have that head-to-head because you beat them in that absolute classic of a game we saw earlier this year that literally came down to the final second. So Jackson State fans, I'm just here to tell you it was a solid game, especially with Jacoby Morgan not in at quarterback. But yep, Jackson State, they keep on rolling.
All right, and I know that we had another game in the School of North that shall not be named that you wanted to talk about.
Yes. Ole Miss. It was there's so many narratives and speculation coming around this game before it even started. When it comes to Lane Kiffin, Florida being in town, what are they going to do? They're going to offer him a contract. Well, the boys on the field really didn't care. Now it was a really good game. Florida really competed very, very hard and led in parts of this game and showed their best. You kind of expected that. Now Florida, they were coming off of a really tough loss to Kentucky. I was kind of surprised about the fight they had in this one. But Ole Miss, Ole Miss fans, you got to be very excited about what you saw for Trinidad Chambliss. It was another elite day for him. 300 plus passing yards going through the air. I mean, his accuracy is just unbelievable. I mean, I think that's one of the most underrated parts of his game. But the real star player in this game was Kwan Lacey. This guy went crazy for Ole Miss. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, over 200 rushing yards. We're talking about these running backs, and you're getting into November football, right? What do you need in November football? You need a run game and you need defense, right? Now, the defense didn't play great, that great in this game, but they made big plays when they needed to. So Ole Miss fans, this is a team that's starting to obviously they found their stride, but when you look into the playoffs, you want to see them playing their best ball. And I don't think anyone would deem that game last night their best game of the season at all. But, going into a bye now, then you get the Egg Bowl. Obviously, that's a massive game when you talk about rivalries. So I know they're going to wake up for that one. And then you can get into that game. And then all of a sudden, we're talking about a playoff game in Oxford, ladies and gentlemen. Can you all believe that? I can't even imagine what that spectacle would be like.
Absolutely. Now, of course, you just mentioned the Egg Bowl. So who are they going to play? The Bulldogs. And they did not fare as well as Ole Miss yesterday.
No, they did not. And, man, I was really curious how this game would come out, right? We talked about earlier in the year, Mississippi State's defense was looking pretty dang good. I was really impressed with the defense earlier in the year. The offense was making plays, but yesterday they took a step back on defense. We saw what happened against Georgia the week before. It's Georgia, though. It's like, all right, we see what Georgia is starting to do and how well they're playing. They beat Texas yesterday as well. So it was kind of one of those games that you're playing one of the best teams in the country. Then you get into this game against Missouri, third-string quarterback in. Now, Matt Zollers, he had played a couple games before this. Last week, he really struggled early against Texas A&M, and Mississippi State really couldn't get him flustered early on, and he got into a rhythm. Now, there's an opportunistic play. We've seen Mississippi State beaten opportunistic on defense. It's just not enough. It's too much bend, but don't break. I know that's a cliche in sports, but they allow some big plays, and then that's obviously another massive one right there on your screen right now. I mean, that's a guy that we got to talk about as well, even though it's from Missouri. Ahmad Harvey had 300 rushing yards in this game. You can't win if you're allowing one guy 300 rushing yards or even a team. So it really came down to the defense in this one because, the State, they really played in this game. Like, they were in it. You see 5 minutes in the game right there, 5 minutes in the third quarter. It was only an 11-point game. That pick right there really was the beginning of the end, though. But, I know a lot of people are asking, what should State do and stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing a Kamario Taylor come in, the freshman, get him some reps in against Ole Miss. We've talked about Holly. I've talked about it with other State fans. This guy is special, what he can do running the football, but we also got to see him have some big-time passes in that game as well. That was a touchdown pass right there, obviously. It's an interesting conversation when you got a freshman, Blake Shapen. Now, has he earned that last start of his career? It'll be his last start. I think he has, but also you got to see what you have with the freshman. Right. We're starting to see Taylor a lot more, which is kind of what you expected.
It was kind of fun to watch. We were talking about it. It was like some interesting plays. We got nervous. We're like, why are we changing it up?
Yeah. Oh, when they had Blake Shapen and Kamario in the backfield at the same time. Nervous. Yeah, that was an interesting. Yeah, handed it off to Shapen, then he threw it. I like creativity.
I do too, but I was like, I got very nervous. Yeah. I was like, why
we have two quarterbacks in the backfield? I don't know about nervous. That. But yeah, for state, they still have a chance to get bowl eligible against Ole Miss. That's, early in the season, they started 4-0. Everyone's saying, oh my goodness, they're going to make a bowl first time in a few years. This would be awesome. And it's just been a real tough stretch in the SEC. Obviously, their only win being against Arkansas. So it's tough. I mean, the SEC is really, really hard to win. And I think we saw that against Ole Miss and Florida, that being a competitive game, even though Florida got beat down by Kentucky the week before. It's so difficult to win in the SEC, and you can't make a lot of mistakes. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, it's just I'm just gonna sit in my shame. I know I'm gonna say we're a baseball school. That's what I've been saying.
Well, hey, I'm a Southern Miss fan, and we lost bad to Texas State yesterday,
So
3-6.
We're
Texas
both
State,
hurting
so.
today. It's normally you're in here talking about the Saints losing. Now we got to talk about both of them.
Yeah.
It's just one of those days. So we're gonna not end on that.
No,
I didn't prep it. I didn't prep him with a question.
I was waiting for the question.
I know. I didn't prep him, so because he usually gets a little bit of time. All right. You
still
have
don't give a clear answer.
No, you don't. You can only give one today.
Okay.
It's all paid for.
Okay.
What is the plane ticket? Where are you going on your dream vacation? The ticket is paid for. Where are you going? What is Nate's dream vacation? Don't say New Orleans.
Yeah. Go home. Oh man, that's a tough one. When I was a kid, I got
putting you on the spot.
I got two. Okay, I got two. When I was a kid, I always said Italy, but I've heard certain things about it's not like the greatest place to go to. I've always wanted to see like the art and stuff out there, but I'd probably actually, I'm gonna go Egypt.
Egypt?
I'm gonna go Egypt. I want to see the pyramids so bad.
Okay. And you want to do the whole like camels around the pyramids,
yeah.
all that good
I think
stuff?
that is one of the like coolest places in the world. I'm not even gonna get into conspiracies about it because I think the pyramids are awesome.
Don't let the folks know that you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
That's we're gonna lose viewers.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No.
All right. Well, I'm proud of you. You picked one place today.
Yes,
Now, Anae's sitting over there. Anae, what is your dream vacation? Do you want to come on in, or you just want to yell your answer? You can slide on in. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Anae. What's your dream vacation? It's paid for.
If I wasn't terrified of planes, I would say Australia.
Oh, that's a good one.
Australia?
I want to see the land down under, but I don't want to be on a plane for 24 hours.
It's far.
Yeah, it's too far.
Well, I guess you could do if you go to LA. Isn't it like 17?
I'll never do that.
17,
I'll
yeah.
never.
Still
I'll never do
17
that.
hours?
I couldn't. I don't like flying for 2 hours. So
Oof.
no, it's not going to work.
All right.
But just pie in the sky.
All right. Well, there you go. You learn things about Nate, and you learn things about Anae. We talked Egypt and Australia, but she's too scared. But that's okay. Maybe she'll be brave one day.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, that's a look at you. That's a look at your local news and learning a little bit about us here on the Weekend Team. Make sure that you tune in tonight after Sunday Night Football at 10 o'clock. And of course, Nate will have an update on your weather for going into the work week. And Nate will have a recap on some of the sports that you might have missed over the last couple of days. Thank you for tuning in.